That is not a flattering view by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Sloppy as can be on this one because it's been a sloppy afternoon. So let's get after it here. That's good enough. Bears Saints. Thanks for taking forever. Inevitably, it ended the way exactly as it should have with the Saints' victory. Yet took forever for that thing that, whatever. Sean Payton, take the clock all the way down. Why do you want to leave any time for the Bears? I don't understand it. Let's make sure this thing's working from a look at this. I came in with a full glass of wine. I've been waiting for this Bears game to end. Channel, because we got to get going on this. There it is. Let's double check. All right. So here we go. Morning round sucked. Winner, Miami. Hey, handicapped that one well. Even though Miami was outgained and the box score should suggest that the Rams rolled them, Rams made mistakes. So that was the winner. And that's where we end with that because that was the only winner. I liked Seattle. Remember the big speech about the line movement? And then I got off of Seattle. They ended up hammering the 49ers. So that was idiocy at its finest. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson. It's probably going to start tomorrow because someone wants to get ahead of it. I don't think it's warranted just yet, but at some point, you're going to have to win some big games. I understand 2 years ago, you were a rookie, you were in the playoffs, you were a big favorite against the Chargers and lost that game fine. Came back last year, huge favorite against Tennessee, lost that game. It was a big game today against Pittsburgh. You're off the bye. He played terrible. So just throwing that one out there. That conversation is going to start in the very near future. Baltimore was a loser. Buffalo wins but doesn't cover. Cam Newton, toast in New England. Nice fumble at the end there. Garoppolo over on passing yards. So it was about 260. I play the over, lose it, yet the Niners still throw for 299 yards. They did what they needed to do against the Seahawks defense. Garoppolo just couldn't get it done. Out of the game, injuries, all that stuff. Mullins had no problem stepping in the second half and throwing for over 200. So that was a loser. And then the Tennessee Green Bay teaser. I'll say this. If you're going to lose a teaser, lose both legs and lose them both badly. No reason to get invested in that emotionally whatsoever. Tennessee was down from the beginning. Chalk that one up, and you either get really lucky late or it doesn't even matter because you're going to get blown out. So that's that. 1-4. So finally dug out of this huge hole, got to even, got above even, got slightly profitable, got excited, immediately went, was it 0-4 on Thursday and 1-4 today, 1-8 over my last 9, which puts it at 64 and 65 on the year. We don't have a lot of time, so we're going to get to it. Eagles-Cowboys tonight, 49 degrees in Philadelphia, 15% chance of precipitation, 16-mile-an-hour winds. Nothing about that is great. Nothing about that is awful. You're kind of in the middle on all of it right now. Injuries. Miles Sanders is out for Philadelphia. Alshon Jeffrey's still out. Just keep cashing those checks, Alshon. It's all good. You just keep cashing those checks and you do what you need to do. Everyone loves you in Philly. Don't you worry about that. Ridiculous. Lane Johnson out too. Late scratch on the offensive line. Prescott, Andy Dalton are out for Dallas. Everyone knew that coming in. It's going to be, Ben DiNucci at quarterback for the Cowboys. Philly gets back Dallas Goedert at tight end. Jalen Reagor at wide receiver. Jason Peters on the offensive line, all active tonight. Line was Philly -3 on the look ahead, but then Dalton got knocked out and the Cowboys embarrassed themselves against Washington. It got as high as Philly 11. Then it got to Philly -10, which is where it sits now. Total was 43.5 down to 42. I got 5 plays on this game and it's coming up, so we're going to move quick here. Number 1, I'm playing Dallas +10. People will look at that and they will say, you are an Eagle fan. How could you possibly do that? A little sliver of this is an emotional hedge in the event that A, it's close, or B, Philly loses. If Philly wins in a blowout, as a Philly fan, I'll walk away happy, but I'm going to lose money. So I need to let you know that. I'm not capping this as I have this great angle on Dallas. Part of it is the emotional hedge. Part of it. Small part of it. I'll also say this. When Dallas and the Giants played a few weeks ago, Dallas was laying 9.5 at one point with the worst defense in the NFL. Like, you can't lay 9.5 in professional football with the worst defense in the NFL. That's not something you can do. Like, you just take the points in that scenario. Sure enough, Giants had a chance to win that game. Similar situation tonight. I don't care how bad everything is with Dallas. Philly has been so lousy, and they're laying 10. This isn't the Big 12. This isn't Alabama versus our sisters of the poor. This is an NFL game, a divisional game. I don't know anything about Ben DiNucci. He could stink, but Philly's laying 10? As an Eagle fan, I've seen them. They're not good. They've had extra time for this game. They should have hammered the Giants a couple weeks ago. And what'd they do? They just make mistakes. It's not like they don't care. It's not like the locker room lacks leadership or that these guys don't want to win. They just make so many mistakes. That's what they do. They make a lot of mistakes. Not like the Chargers. By the way, nice performance. Anthony Lynn still has a job. Nice guy. Got to move on. But this is the Chargers. They're cheap. You have to understand that if you ever want to figure out why the Chargers always have talent and just can't get it done, they're cheap. They go cheap with head coaches, and then they don't want to pay for them to fire them. So they just let the contracts go. They just let these guys play themselves out. They make mistakes, but financially, they don't have the balls that the Yankees have or the Red Sox might have. I know the Mookie Betts thing pisses people off, but the reality is that when you don't have to worry about nickel and diming your way through life, you can identify mistakes and you can move on. Give Arizona all the credit in the world, the Cardinals. Remember, they drafted Josh Rosen in the top 12? They realized that was a mistake in 1 year and then drafted Kyler Murray the following year, and things are working out well. I mean, you got to eat a lot of crow, and there's a lot of egg on your face. You're right. Chat's right. I'm rambling. Forget about all that. So pick number 1 is the Cowboys plus 10. Too many points to lay with a bad team like Philadelphia. It's just too many points. That's the analysis. Way too many points to lay in professional football when you're not a good football team. Dallas plus 10. Number 2, Carson Wentz over 252.5 passing yards. Dallas's defense is terrible. I don't see this being a blowout game like the line indicates. Wentz is going to have to throw. I don't know how they're going to establish a running game. There's no Miles Sanders. There's no Lane Johnson. They haven't been able to run well all year. They put the whole thing on Wentz. He does most of the running. By the way, Wentz scores the first touchdown in a hell of a lot of these games. I don't have that as a bet, but Wentz to score the first TD might be worth your time. But I think he throws for over 252.5 tonight. Dallas hasn't stopped anybody this year. Anybody. I know the Philly lineup is banged up, but Wentz puts up numbers. He does. That's number 2. Number 3 and 4, both Boston Scott related. Eagles running back. No Miles Sanders tonight, so I like Scott in the passing game because there's no Alshon Jeffrey, and I think Deshaun Jackson's out for this one as well. And if he's not, he's probably going to find a way to not do a whole lot tonight. Scott over 2.5 receptions. Scott over 22.5 receiving yards. When you don't have a lot of time, get it out of your hands quickly. Get it to the running back. Let him do his thing. And then number 5, CeeDee Lamb over 3.5 receptions. He's come on very strong the last couple of weeks, especially with Dalton. Was targeted 11 times in week 5, 11 times in week 6, 5 times last week. Didn't work out well against Washington. He didn't have a single reception. That game was a mess. But he's starting to see more looks in the offense. He's been putting up some numbers, again, outside of last week. I think tonight Dallas is going to have to throw. I don't see Dallas up 30 in this game. And I think CeeDee Lamb is going to have an opportunity to make some plays, maybe if it's one big one. But I like the target count, and I like him going over 3.5. So we got to wrap this up quick. Joe, should I quit my job, leave my wife? No. God, no. I don't know you, your job, or your wife. Don't do any of that. How about my rookie bet? LOL. See ya. Seattle wins. Yeah, Seattle was fantastic. Should have stuck with it. Seattle was bang on. Don't know what the line move was. Scared me off, but Seattle was the play from start to finish. Never in doubt. Over under. Don't have anything on this game. Low total. Bad defenses. I could easily see it going over. I could easily see it being a very inept game where it stays under. Not playing the total. Eagles money line and over. No, not playing the Eagles. Plus 6.5 Cowboys. Do you think it's worth it? No, I'm taking the points. Over under. Think I got all those. All right. So recap the 5. Taking Dallas plus the 10. That's number 1. Carson Wentz over 252.5 passing yards. Boston Scott over 22.5 receiving yards. Boston Scott over 2.5 receptions. Lots of checkdowns I'm calling for tonight. And CeeDee Lamb over 3.5 receptions. Those are the 5. Thank you for tuning in. Game starts in 10 minutes. Do what you got to do. Have fun. I'll see you tomorrow at, when do we go live? 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Preview the Monday night game, and then we're back Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. Every Monday, every Thursday, 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. Previewing Monday night, Thursday night. And then Sunday, we have the morning show at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. No, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. And then this one, 4 a week. Thank you for tuning in. Good luck, everybody. Have fun. This game's going to be great. Look, everyone talks trash on the NFC East. Everybody. But one thing they don't ever point out, these are always close games. Think about it. Washington and Cowboys probably wasn't, but most of the rest are close games. That's it. We're done. Have a good one, everyone. Check out my